this is working. Hello. I want to do an experiment. I'm going to unmute everyone and I'm going to put on a bhajan and see if we can, how that sounds. I know it'll sound crazy, but let's see.
Oh. Yay!
Hallo, hallo.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, ki jai Shri Kabir, ki jai jai Rama, ki jai Shri Ramana, ki jai Shri Ramana, ki jai jai Arunachala, ki jai Arunachala, ki jai Arunachala, ki jai ki jai ki jai. Monte Sahaja ki jai.
Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. I've forgotten how this works actually. What are we supposed to do now? Someone wants to say something? I'm going to unmute. So good to see all of you. We've never had so many in Satsang. We should take breaks more often then. Good. So already we have a question. So Vikas, you can ask. You want to type or you want to speak? Yes. So you have to see.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Father. Hello, everybody. Hope all of you are doing good. Father, I just wanted to ask. Yesterday, I felt like I have to get it on an urgent basis. I don't know why. Maybe because of Corona effect. So I had to get it on. I had to get it today only. It was like that running in my mind yesterday night. So I listened to one of your previous satsang videos on YouTube, where you are directly pointing to just find out who is actually is aware of all the things which is happening in the mind. So that is it. So things are having happening in the mind, and I am just aware of it. So I was just trying very much to find out who is that. So there was a sense of calmness, and actually I went into sleep in that mode. Only morning I remembered somewhere in during that listening to your it was kind of a guided not intentional, but as you started answering, it became kind of a guided meditation, and somewhere in between I went to sleep also. But there was a sense of calmness, but still uh, uh, I have to know it, the knower. So that is the question further.
You have to know it.
Yeah, Father. So I am making sure that I am not coming back to my intellect, because I am very much clearly seeing my intellectual tendencies also. So now I'm aware. I'm totally saying I am aware. So so you asked a very simple question which struck me actually. You just asked this thing which is aware, which is self-aware, aware of itself. Are you not this? So my answer to that question is I am definitely aware, and I am aware of myself, and beyond that I could not say anything to answer to your question. So then probably sometime later I went to sleep.
Ah, okay. So let whatever happen, it has happened, it's over. You said something very nice. You said, let me not use my intellect. Let me not use my intellect and let's see if we can get it right now. So don't go to your intellect and tell me what you find.
uh, uh, I don't find anything, but I am let me just use the words I am here or I am aware, uh, without being actually cannot explain how I am aware or how I am here. I am here and I am aware.
So if you don't make any distinctions, because intellect makes distinctions, no? Can you make any distinctions without the intellect?
No.
Then to answer this question, you have to use the intellect, isn't it? So you say that without using the intellect, I'm here. I'm aware of this here-ness, of this presence. But even these words are just used for communication.
Yeah.
So if you don't go to the playground of judgment, interpretation, which we call the intellect, then this truth which is being pointed to is self-evident, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, in this self-evident nature of the truth, is there something someone who's clamoring for the truth, wants the truth right now? I want it. Sorry, you have to unmute again because I muted everyone once. So you have to.
Sorry for that. So yeah, what you are saying is right. There is someone who just want to go and grab it, but at the same time it is seen as the other side of the thing. It's in the side of intellect, so it is seen.
Don't try to make anything out of the discovery. Just relax for a moment.
Okay.
And with the innocence of a child, you can tell me whether you are still there or not.
I'm here.
Yes. You see, so this is simply put, it is self-knowledge because you are aware that you are here. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, the one who wants, what happened to that one?
Uh, he's not here because he's like he rises and dances, but now he is not here. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Uh, his act is not there right now, I think.
Yes, yes. So that one which comes and goes, we don't need to bother with. So let me make this claim on your behalf that getting it is simply this. There is nothing more than that. So if you don't burden this very simple discovery, which is not really even a discovery actually, it's just a simple seeing, just to use words. If you don't burden it with an expectation of what should happen now or what does this mean, then that's it. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do.
Only one thing seems to be burdening, but I'm just giving it as a report and I am not going to catch it. So it is saying to me that, but still, Father's statement that awareness is aware of itself. Maybe, as you say, I am expecting some grand, uh, things to happen or something like that. So I will let it go and I will just follow your guidelines.
This is actually the simplest. There's no such grand discovery in that. I know the way it sounds. You see, awareness is aware of itself. It can sound like it's a very special state that you have to come to, but it is not a state that you have to come to. It is just a statement about what already is. When I ask you, are you aware now? You see? And you say, yes, I am aware. Is it not you as awareness which is aware of itself? It's only in these words that the simple
Yes.
discovery can start to seem very grand or very confusing. But we don't have to bother with either of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Next question is, beloved Father, what can we learn from coronavirus? What can we learn? Well, many things to learn on a phenomenal level. At a worldly level, there are many things that we understand about the world because of this happening, let's call it happening. One is that clearly, because especially in India, there's this very fantastical notion about the human race being all powerful, the strongest, and the smartest, and everything great about God's invention in this creation is the invention of humanity. It is very beautiful, of course, I'm not denying any of that. But this arrogance that we are the only true representation of God, that is getting completely clobbered in these times. I feel like all our arrogance of being the greatest in the world, all these ideas, you see, a tiny, very, very small, infinitesimally small creature is leading to so much havoc for entire humanity, and it could be uh, this is this could be just one of many, and in fact, it is just one of many. So I feel like there are very beautiful lessons in humility and in gratitude and thankfulness, because we all have learned. Like somebody at work sent me this message saying, we'll start to value a handshake and to be able to look at each other without the filter of a screen and a hug and all these beautiful things which we just took for granted so much more now that we've been quarantined in this way or isolated, put into this sort of self-isolation in this way. So it's a very sweet mixture of humility and demolition of arrogance, as well as valuing what is available for us in our human existence and in our human construct. We learn to value that ephemeral existence as being human, and existence on this planet in this realm as a human being a lot more, I feel, when these events happen. There are many things I could speak about this for a long time, but I wonder, because everybody is, I'm sure, inundated with things about this. You see? So I wanted not to focus necessarily the entire time on this particular topic. But it also, in a way, has brought us all together, because after a long time, I feel like the entire human race has one common nemesis, so to speak. Of course, our greater nemesis continues to be the ego and arrogance, but in the worldly play, in the material play, it seems like we're uniting in much stronger ways now, because we have a common nemesis to look at and deal with. So many, many beautiful things that are happening in this grace of consciousness. And of course, there are great heights of paranoia and things like that. I noticed that a little bit of a cough came out through this body, and I'm sure uh, whenever we are meeting people now with a cold or some cough, we are a bit paranoid about their condition and what's happening to them and things like that. So it's not, of course, all good. There's great amount of fear. There's a lot of paranoia, a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of things that are happening. But all in all, I have to say that this, as everything else, is the Sadguru's grace, and we must accept it as that, and not fear the fear, not fear the virus. Whatever is the Master's grace, we are all taken care of in that grace, as with everything else. So those are the words that came up in response to your question. If you have something specific about this, we can speak some more. The next one says, Father, as it is said, even a blade of grass doesn't move without his permission. Is it predetermined the amount of identification and suffering a man has to go through? And as no matter how much effort is put on here, still the identification and suffering takes place. If that's the case, then I should let the suffering happen as it is happening. Now, as you know, that a question like this has many levels at which it could be answered, isn't it? So, if you want to refer, if you want me to refer to you as a man or as a person, then something like this could be fine. It's fine. As a person, of course, you don't have this kind of power to determine what is going to happen. But as consciousness, and that is my preferred way to refer to you as the being itself. All of this is your play. Not a blade of grass moves unless it is your will. So this power to identify and not identify also belongs to that which is all powerful, the only one. So as I refer to you as this being, as one being, as my being, it is an imploration in this monologue for this one being to not refer to itself as a limited entity, to not see itself as a limited being which is left powerless on this world by God, left to suffer in this way. Because that is a very limited way to look at yourself. You see? So, although it may be the preliminary step to surrender, it is not the highest. So, and even to take yourself to be consciousness actually is not the highest truth, but it is the premise in which we hold satsang. It is the premise in which we hold satsang to take ourselves to be consciousness. Because the power of belief, the power of identification lies with this consciousness, lies with this being. And even right now, there is nothing that forces you to take yourself to be this limited being, to take yourself to be this limited entity. You cannot find your boundary. You cannot find your starting or your end. You cannot find your birth or your death. So all of these limitations that are coming with the notions of taking yourself to be a limited person, a limited man, as you said, then of course it can be said that the one who doesn't exist obviously has no power. How can that which doesn't exist have power? So it all depends on the reference point that you're taking about yourself. Now, you as being, you as consciousness, are the light of this universe. Like Bhagwan asked this very beautiful question, isn't it? He said, in whose light do you see the light of the sun? So this light, this being, this consciousness is what gives light to everything. And this is what I'm referring to you as. And that is why in this strange play, I realize that it is a strange play. How can consciousness be suffering? You see? And that is why the construct of the Leela or the play is the one that intellectually comes closest to this, to defining what seems to be happening here, which is that consciousness seems to be identifying as a limited body mind and taking itself to be a limited entity and seems to be suffering in this way. And then taking itself to be this limited body mind is saying, how do I get out of this suffering? Is this all your will, God, that I have to suffer through? You see? But who's playing this game? It is God itself, which is putting on this mask. And suffering is a very elemental part of this mask of humanity or individuality. So without this notion of separation, notion of the idea of being a limited entity, can there be any suffering? Is there any suffering now? And how is it that I don't have to wait for a specific moment to ask that question? I can ask that question at any point of time. See, I can guarantee you that right now, for any of you, there is no suffering right in this very moment. You see? And if I can ask that in every moment, then is suffering real or is it just an idea that we seem to have? If it is never there, every time I say now, it's not a special moment in which that now comes and say, okay, because Ananta is saying now it must go away. It is actually not something that you have experienced the presence of. It is a pure intellectual exercise, you see? Which is how it is distinct from pain. Because pain and pleasure are a natural part of this human existence. You see? You can say that the presence of pain can be experienced. You see? But when you take pain or anything that appears in this worldly construct and you intellectualize it, only then you have the potential to make suffering out of it. If you judge it, if you resist it, if you say that this should be or should not be, that is how we make suffering out of that which is a pure perception. So this is freedom, because you see that nothing that appears, nothing that can reveal itself in this perceived world actually has the potential to cause any suffering. Of course, it does have the potential to appear as if it is pain. For suffering, you need to have a judgment. You need to say this should not be. So in the lives of those who are free, apparently free, they don't seem to experience suffering, although they do seem to experience pain. Please increase the volume. Aha. Let's see, I'm using the built-in mic here today. So. Oh, this is quite low. Now it may be too loud. Is it good now? Yeah. All right, so this is better. So let's take a question. Guruji, did Buddha actually attack and deny the existence of Brahman? Or did he attack the misconception of the word Brahman by traditionalists? Okay, so this is an interesting question which I would love to speak about. So I want to tell you that the project of Shankara and the project of all the Vedantins before him, or at least the Advaita Vedantins before Shankara, and Shankara and his complete lineage after that, and the project of the Buddha and all the Buddhas has been exactly the same. When I say the project has been exactly the same, I mean that the intention or the feeling behind the sharing has been exactly the same. And as you rightly pointed out, the main point of distinction has been between this concept of shunyata or zeroness, in a way. It's a rough translation into English. But the shunyam or shunyata versus the concept of Brahman has been uh, a concept which has led to so much trouble between these two sort of groups of people. Mhm. So let's see if we can deconstruct that a bit. So how do you come to the direct recognition of this Brahman? Mhm. The instant that you are left without any notion or reference to anything, especially I, you see, the moment you are left empty of any conceptual reference to I, that which you experience, the Vedantins call the self. You see? That which you experience, the Vedantins call the self, or we call it Brahman. You see? Of course, Brahman has one more technicality, which is the Nirguna, which is attributeless aspect of Brahman, and the Saguna, which is the attributeful aspect of Brahman. You see? But what I'm referring to is the Nirguna, that which is apparent to you, which is not usually apparent in your worldly play. You see? So that becomes instantly clear the minute you drop all references to everything. You see? Now, it it also happens for many Vedantins that in the chasing of the notion called Brahman, you see, in the chasing of a notion called Brahman, we become unable to drop the final reference, which is Brahman itself. And that's what prevents us from actually experiencing through direct intuitive insight that which this Brahman actually is. You see? But the same thing can also happen with the notion of shunyata or zero or shunyam. You see? Because if you keep chasing shunyata, then you don't leave the notion of shunyata. You see? And in chasing that shunyam, you are stuck with the idea of it and never the actual experience of this. You see? So whether you call it the self or you call it the not self, both are actually references to something. They define something. But the project ultimately was to take us beyond even these notions. You see? And that which you discover, whether you choose to call it Brahman, the self, the absolute, the highest, or you choose to call it Shunyam or zero or nothing or no thing, it is completely up to you. So, so just to conclude this point, uh, the Buddhists said that to grasp anything is suffering. You see, what kind of grasping are they talking about? Are they talking about holding an apple is suffering? You see, no. To grasp everything is suffering implies that to grasp any notion in your head, to hold on to any idea or conceptual idea that this is what reality actually is, you see, which is what every belief actually is. To tell you that an idea in your head can actually encapsulate reality, you see. But when we do that, we suffer. And they just presented this idea and they said that we must come to that which is nothing, you see, so that we could give up all grasping, all holding on to any conceptual version of reality, which is actually the same as the Vedantic project. So actually there is no real difference. We are trying to get to the same recognition, the same realization. Now the terms that we use to get there create all this trouble and all of this problem. And that is why if you see for yourself in a way, you see, I'm using the word see lightly, if you see for yourself what your own truth is, then this uh, centuries old conflict will become laughable for you. You see, it will become irrelevant for you. You see, because you will see that both Shankara and Buddha were saying the same thing. They were not saying the same thing, but what they were pointing to the same thing. So what are you in your notionlessness? You see? So with this kind of knowledge, false knowledge, mental knowledge, we only create conflict. Like for the traditional Advaitins, Shunyata is a bad word, Shunyam is a bad word. You see? For the traditional Buddhists, Brahman is a bad word. You see? Or they say that one is deluded because he's chasing Brahman. And the Vedantins say, oh, that one is deluded because he's chasing Shunyata. But who's deluded? All of us, all everyone. Because we take false knowledge to be a true representative of what is and fight about that. The problem is that even in this communication, in all communication, maybe the way communication is designed, we are then put on this treadmill or weighing scale of better and worse. So it can sound, even these words can sound like I have a better plan or a better idea, but it's possibly not true. So if we keep this false knowledge aside, what is your experience of even your perceived manifest reality? Only after I met Guruji, I saw a flower for the first time. But the thing is, it was no longer a flower. You see. As well, some of you have been sitting with me here about 10 days. So for 10 days, we've not sat in this kind of satsang, but I've been requesting some of you to meet me without trying to understand. But you can understand without understanding is the best understanding. Sometimes I feel to say that we need a new language. But if I start looking in that direction, it feels like constructing a new prison actually. So I don't feel like we need a new language either. But we've just been looking at some of these things that we've made our human existence too too monochromatic. You've made it too simplified in terms of the stories that we tell each other. You see, even right now, some of you may say, "Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I'm loving this satsang." You see, but if you really look, you notice that it's never that simple. Actually, it's never. You cannot really define it like that because within you, there may be many different feelings. There may be a little bit of that which you call boredom starting to arise, a little bit of irritation with the words or the way the words are spoken that may arise. A part of you, hopefully a big part of you, there may be some gratitude coming or a happiness coming that we are all together in this way. You see? So, but we in our storification, we make it too simplistic, and then it's like we take that story to be real, and we try to solve these non-existent problems that exist in the life of this story, which are not your real experience right now. You see? There is nobody here, including this mouth, which can really say what is going on. You see, and when I say what is going on, I'm speaking just purely on the manifest aspect. Forget about being able to say about the unmanifest. You see? So what happens if we let go of these very monochromatic, very simplistic sort of stories about ourselves? What happens? Nothing. You don't lose anything. You don't lose anything of value. The only thing you lose is the ability to make these stories itself. So, what can truly represent? And please don't fall for this, again, very simplistic idea that um, the absence of words can truly represent. You see? Except that, accept that you are too broad to be representable, either in words or in silence. If you had a thought which could represent you, that thought would create a brand new universe. You cannot represent one tiny slice of your magnificence, of your broadness. So as we learn to let go of reliance on these false representations, then you discover the true meaning of existence. But that meaning is not, again, conceptually representable. Right now, like I was telling Vikas earlier, if you don't go to the playground of the intellect, isn't the meaning of everything completely clear? So isn't it funny that what we thought we are doing to get to an understanding of something, actually it was that itself which took us away from that understanding which was already there. And one says, Father, questions arise and dissolve in the light of presence. They don't need an answer. This and everything that I've said and everything that we can ever say is very nice, but it's all provisional. You see. All provisional. Who knew that you have to drop your certainty to come to certainty? And this you cannot hide it at all from this. You cannot hide. You cannot sneak in the slightest righteousness. And righteousness, when I say righteousness, I'm not saying, although it is the same in a way, but righteousness, when I say most of you will imagine like right about something or something. Not like that. Even the slightest idea that you feel like in this idea, in this concept, I have been able to capture some essence of reality. And that is in that motion lies the root of all suffering, all grasping, all resistance. And even this is complete nonsense. The minute we say, and this will also sound like that, of course, but the minute we say this is how something is, be certain that our mouth is only speaking nonsense. And you can't even be certain of that. So then where does it leave us? It leaves us outside this ballpark of the intellect. That's where all the fun is, trust me. So one said, it leaves us at your feet. In a way, this is true because the feet that you're speaking of is your own divine presence, it's your own divinity. You see? We've been missing our divinity because we've been trying to understand things, we're trying to get knowledge about things. And this knowledge is taking us away from true knowledge. Mm. Suppose you go to a farm, and on that farm there are all these trees which are full of tomatoes. Okay, then you meet a man over there, and he's digging on the ground, and you go and ask him, "What are you digging for?" He says, "I'm digging for tomatoes." See? I'm digging for tomatoes. So what are you going to tell him? Hmm? You're going to tell him, if you keep digging, you will only find potatoes. Hmm? If you stop digging, you will see that there are tomatoes all around you. So going to your head, expecting to find truths, is just like that. Go to a weighing machine to measure the enormity of space. Can you do that? Okay, next question is, it is suggested that let thoughts come and go. You just watch them without identification. But many things which come automatically gets identification as they're about what is going on in the phenomenal world. So how to be unidentified with them spontaneously? You see? So if you are taking yourself already to be a limited being, an entity which has a boundary, then I could take your report to be true, saying that yes, thoughts are maybe too much for you and you can't help it. You can't help it. You have to believe them, they're so strong. You see? So if that reference point is already very clear and it seems like that is your reality, then there are various practices and seeing solutions out of this predicament, you see, like chanting or something like that. So if you are certain that you are this limited object, then who then has no power over their thoughts, then there are various other practices that can be done. Mhm. The invitation here is to check that it is not true that you are this little old me afflicted by these thoughts. You see? I'm referring to you as consciousness, and nothing happens to consciousness. You see, nothing can be done to consciousness. You cannot be the consciousness remains open and empty, letting all these thoughts come and go. And yet, there is some thought which comes which is greater than consciousness, stronger than consciousness, and then that takes over. Because if it was true like that, then all of us should be in reverence to thought, not to consciousness. You see? So if thought itself was the supreme, it held the supreme power in this situation, then the true God, the true Lord that we should be in service to is thoughts themselves. Now, I saw here that this is not the true position. You see? I saw that this being is broader, is in a way the word is coming mightier, but not in a traditional way. Is stronger than everything else that arises in its own light, and nothing that arises in its own light as this kind of power over being as the mind itself would have us imagine. So, but it again depends on what feels truest in your heart. If it feels truest in your heart that it is automatic and you cannot just let go, then follow that for a bit. You see, there are many spiritual practices which are available. In fact, most spiritual practices are available for us so that we can build some seeming control over our attention and belief. So, if it feels true that way, then you could look at that. But if what I'm saying is ringing true in your heart somewhere, saying that all of these perceptions, including this voice and every other sound, including the sound of our thoughts, everything is coming and going just naturally, and nothing really has the power to hold me in my reality, then that could seem like a shortcut approach. But it doesn't have to be. You see, so even if we take your premise to be true, which is many thoughts which come get identification as they are about what's going on in the phenomenal world. But we just looked and saw that no thought can represent what's going on. Can you give me an example of what's going on right now? How many thoughts do you need to truly represent what is going on right now, even perceptually? I can promise you that if you had a quota of 1,000,000 thoughts, you would still miss a ray of light, some part of sound, some shade of color somewhere. And yet, where do we go to represent what's going on? That is the addiction, that is the conditioning to go to the mind for a true representation about what's going on. So I would say maybe not a good idea to say like this, but it's coming up. If we had to go somewhere for what's going on, first, definitely don't go to the mind's interpretation for what's going on. If you have to go somewhere, then go to your pure perception. Even that is not true, at least in the Vedantic sense. But it is much more preferable to going to an interpretation, better to go to a perception. Just perceive what is phenomenal rather than concluding mentally what is. And then, when something feels ready and ripe enough, what you could do is just go even beyond that, what is appearing, to that to whom it is appearing, for what's going on. Once you go to whom it is appearing, then the motion of going on itself dissolves. The motion of happening itself dissolves. So for some of us, we can start with how everybody are. Even right now, our minds may be fully activated saying, this is what's going on. This is what he's saying. Please, this is what I have to understand. If I can only stay like this. You see? So trying to still get it with the mind and control it in some way. Some of you, either naturally or after having been in satsang for some time, may be able to come to this point where you're just perceiving without grasping at any of this. And some of you are not even referring to what you are perceiving to give you an insight about what is there to know, or what is the meaning of this, or what is going on, which are all the same question actually. Okay, there's some questions piling up, so let me quickly go at them. So one says not conclude anything. Is that enough? You see, but that would be a conclusion. You try it, no? Without the guarantee of it being enough or not. You try first. You see? And then the conclusion will come. But this is not enough. You see? Or the conclusion will come, yes, yes, this is enough. You see? And you throw both of them away. Don't bother with either of them. Because enough means what? It doesn't mean anything. It could mean some strange idea about freedom or discovery of the truth or any of that, but that's already yours. So, how to solve the non existent problem? Then next one says, Father, whenever, if any kind of spiritual experience arises, like very intense experiences, after coming out of those experiences, I tend to follow those experiences, tend to chase them. Yeah, I feel this is a barrier. Yes. How to overcome this? You noticed it, and that's it. You see, your noticing is as as pure as any strategy to deal with it can get. Because if you create any other steps around it, it is just going to become a new thing. It's going to become a new cage, a new prison. You say that I have spiritual experiences. Every time I have them and they're over, I start chasing them. You see, you notice that. That itself is very good. Most don't even notice that. See, in your noticing, the job is done. You get? Otherwise, what will happen is that you will start chasing the not chasing them. Oh, the experience came. I should make sure I should not want it again. You see, that's a new sort of chasing, you see, without realizing. I realize that what I've said today and what I'm saying now may seem very absurd to our intellect. I realize that because I'm not offering up any solutions in the traditional way. But I hope something there is being able to hear what I'm saying, because if you decide that I'm not going to chase them and this is how I'm not going to chase them, then you created a new prison for yourself, isn't it? So chasing is away from your neutrality. Not chasing is away from your neutrality. Neither this nor that. And all of these are the problems that we are encountering trying to solve a non-existent problem. It is impossible to find anyone who suffers more than one who is trying to solve a non-existent problem. You see? And that is the bane of the spiritual seeker. Because, like Vikas started this conversation, he said, I really want it now. Yeah? So, how will you solve this non existent problem that you don't have it? You see, obviously, you can't solve it. And that's what suffering looks like. How is it possible to want something which is not just what you already have, but it is in fact what you already are? How will you want that? Want something which is you. Let's see. How will you want it? See? So obviously we may have an idea of what the self is like, how it looks like, and those ideas are creating this problem, which is actually truly non-existent. Are you confused really about who you are right now? Isn't it more apparent than everything else? Isn't it clearer than clear can be, because it cannot be blurred ever? Who has really lost themselves? The question itself is absurd, isn't it? Okay, quick. Next one. Father mind tries to imagine itself coming home, but it is seen from myself. Yes, it tries to make a story about being aware, bringing feelings and conclusions of that's it. I give thanks for this opportunity to see and hear your guidance. I love you. It's a beautiful report. So as simple as not being concerned about any perception or any conclusion, independent of all conclusions and perception. When you check into your own truth, your own reality, you may use a tool like who am I or am I aware now? You come to an undeniable self-recognition. And to not burden any expectation on top of this self-recognition or try to get any new meaning now from this self-recognition is to come to this simple freedom. There truly isn't any step to take in any direction. The mind will come with many offers to you. It will tell you that you are still this body mind who has come to this recognition. So therefore, this body must represent this in some way or some idea like that. You see, but that is just a trick to come back to square one. It's a trick to come back to square one. This body and all bodies are always in the complete care of your being. And your being doesn't need any intervention to embody itself in all bodies. And even these words are just kindergarten type words. They're sounding so lame as I speak them. So as you move away from the attempted conceptual understanding of this reality to a pure perception or purely tasting of this, at least the manifest reality, and then we go beyond even the taste of this manifest to that which is beyond all taste. We have one Sangha friend. She made some posters of things like this, no? Absurd things that I say, like if you want tomatoes, don't go digging for potatoes, these kind of things. And she put them in front of her bed so she could remind herself. Then next day, her mother came into the room and she was just reading this stuff, and she sent me a video of her mother's reaction to this thing, and it was one of the funniest and sweetest things I've seen. Don't go to your mind, your intellect for truth. And even if you think you're going to it for entertainment, just notice where that idea comes from. You may think you're going to it for entertainment, but I've had a few saying, yes, yes, I'm so much at peace with my mind now. I feel I can play with it quite easily. It won't really get me. And in most cases, that's the last I've seen of them. So I'm not meaning to make it sound dire or something. Just how this play plays. There's nothing really of consequence that can happen here. We can keep meeting like this over and over. There is no trouble. Lifetime after lifetime, or dream world after dream world. It doesn't really. It's not that critical or important. But if you really feel like you're done with this game, don't go potato farm. Okay, so there are many of us here, but I wonder whether we can, whoever is able to come and say something, I'd like to hear from everyone because I haven't heard from many of you for quite some time now. So just say hello or whatever you feel like saying, or bless this world and may it be done with this oppressive virus thing, super quick or something like that. Whatever you feel to say in your heart, you can come and say. Now you have the ability to unmute yourself. So whoever wants to come first can just unmute and come. Come on, all of you, one by one.
Father,
Hello. Hello, my dear.
hello, Father. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to be with the Sangha also. And I just wanted to share that this moment feels like this shower of grace upon all of us. Even everything in this dynamic life of viruses and people having to go inside their homes and it's being so beautiful to see that if you cannot go outside, the only way out is inside, and it just brings tears to my eyes, and I just feel like saying that this love, this love is always here, and we don't have to go anywhere to find it. It is ourselves, and it is not gained by anything, by any merit. It is only ourselves. And thank you so much, Father. I love you so much. I bow to you so humbly. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Hi, Father.
Hello. I don't see you yet. Is it
Can you
just
see me
audio?
now? No, there's video too, but my connection may not be very special. This is Sumer.
Aha, there you are. So,
Hi, Father.
hello.
Just so happy to be here. Yes. I don't know what to say. There's very little to say except for just gratitude for everything. And I feel like, just being here with everybody, it's just that blossoming of that gratitude. You just feel like, uh, if I could say it, just in these seeming strange times, it feels like such a beautiful opportunity and such a protection. So I just want to thank you for this. Thank you for this beautiful service and getting us all together. Thank you, Father.
Come. You don't have to wait for me. Just come on your own.
Can you hear me, Father?
I can hear you well.
Huh?
Yes.
Hello. Yes, I wanted to say thank you and to say that it's so beautiful to be here with the Sangha and in this moment, and I really love you, Father, and thank you. Hope to see you soon, everybody. I miss you I miss you, but I love you, and thank you. Mwah. Bye bye. Ciao.
All love, blessings to everyone in Italy, because Italy is one of the most affected countries.
Yes, it's true.
All our love, all our blessings, all everything in our heart is there for you, and all of you who are there. Deep prayer from the heart for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear.
I haven't seen you for a long time live, and just want to say I love you so much, and I'm very grateful for your pointings. I try to apply them as much as I can, and I can see results. I can see that something is growing and becoming more open, more. So, just love you so much and thank you.
Thank you for everything, all the seva that you've been doing. Just beautiful silent seva, and so beautiful. It is bound to unfold. You can see that it is unfolding very beautifully. Very. Give my love to your brother as well. Tell him.
Yes.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my love.
How are you? How's your family?
They're good, my love. They're good.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. Just thank you so much for this time. I missed you so much. It was so wonderful to see you with Guruji in India. But just it was very interesting here in the United Kingdom. We're also on lockdown. But I find the climate just on the streets with everyone, there's a greeting for everyone, a smile. There's this very slow pace, except if you go to try and find toilet roll, then you can't because it's all sold out. But that's another story. But I just find this a very peaceful and nourishing time. I don't feel panic. for myself or even most of my yoga students. Our classes are now online, just like this. It's very interesting having to learn new things. So I just feel very taken care of and very blessed, and just thank you so much for everything. And I love you so much. Thank you.
Hello,
Hello, my love. Hello.
Gautam here
Yes, yes, yes. I see you well.
from Mauritius. There's a lockdown here too, but it's given us the opportunity to go inside. I just saw a cartoon today which said, if you can't go outside, go inside. So, yeah. Thank you, Father. So nice to see you.
Same, my love. Give my love to your family as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Father.
Hello, my dear. Probably a few blocks away, isn't it?
It's Zoom meetings all day.
Zoom meeting all the same.
Thank you so much for organizing this. How's Kabir doing?
He's fine actually. He came on the 14th. So
Oh,
he's in voluntary isolation along with all of us. So yeah, it's he's getting very bored, of course, but he's good. Hello. How's the Bharatnatyam?
It's good, Father.
on Zoom.
Zoom Bharatnatyam? You've been having classes or no?
No. This week we didn't have.
Oh, happy to see both of you.
Thank you.
Give my love to the kids as well.
Yes, Father.
Hi, Father.
Hello.
Yeah, I was missing you too much. Thanks for this satsang.
Oh, welcome. So welcome.
There was a lot of burning in last few months. So, but everything is fine now. Burning is still there, but everything is fine with it. So great. Thank you for the satsang, and I hope it will continue like this. Thank you.
Yes, we'll do some. So happy to see you smiling and happy. There's practically no cases in your state.
No, two cases are there. 2 cases are there, but it is in capital only. Not much, not more than that. Raipur only.
Right.
Just to say thank you, Father. Yeah, just thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mahesh.
So happy to see you, but still missing sitting there at your feet.
Oh, thank you. It'll happen soon. It's not too far away. If you.
Oh, thank you.
Our health is good.
Yes. All good. Thank you.
We love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Father. Do you hear me?
I hear you. I don't see you yet. It'll take a moment to come.
Stephanie, can you see me?
Hello. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yes,
nice to see you.
I'm so much in awe. It's the first time that I'm here. And I asked yesterday, how can I get into this Zoom meeting? And there was no link. And I'm so in awe. It's like the answer to my prayer. It's just so simple. It was always in my mind something chasing me. You missed it. That I missed you in Rishikesh to go to the meetings because I'm not in this group, and then I thought, no, this thought I don't accept it. I cannot miss you. You came in a dream and you hold my head, and it was like you were feeding me, and I was just only crying out of gratitude that I feel just so much at home. I'm so grateful for this. Taking everything away. It's so making everything so simple, so much love. And now I'm here, and I always was here. It cannot be anything else. And also, mind tried to chase me with, you didn't stand up in Satsang in Rishikesh. And I thought, but I had something to say. There's nothing to say. It just is. And this is a confirmation here. I'm so happy. So grateful, nothing is missing. And my birds are very loud. I live only with my two birds.
It's fine. It's fine. It's complete.
My birds, they're very loud, no?
No, it's beautiful. No problem.
Yeah, but they are the confirmation of God's joy all the time. And it's so simple. You are the answer. You are me. Thank you so much.
Love you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the thanks for the satsang. Yesterday I visited a temple. Actually, I saw a photo of Lord Shiva. He was sitting. Disciples were sitting in his feet, and he has pinned down a demon in his right foot. So when I saw that photo, I just imagined you pinning down my intellect. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. It was so beautiful. Actually, I was just keep staring at that photo for a long time.
Again, you on Zoom. It was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy with to be back with you and see you here in live, and especially to meet you in Rishikesh, even though it was just one time. It felt so great. So unfortunately, I'm sitting here like a prison because I just got the coronavirus. Yeah, but it will be over soon. Thank you for that.
All our blessings, all our love, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Pray at Guruji's feet that may this affliction be over in super quick time, and if it is his will, may you be back to your complete health very, very fast.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Olga is trying to say something, or just her phone is on?
Oops.
Hello.
No. I think I switched on a bit late, so I didn't tell you. Yesterday came to Rishikesh. I was in Hyderabad, as you know, and I was really considering all the options. I thought I isolate myself in Hyderabad, but I was like being there totally alone, it just felt, no, it's like it was too much. And then people said, stay away from Bangalore. Even my flatmate said, and then I'm like, okay, what's the other option? So I went up, and there is little Sangha left, not much, but I'm here in a gated community, and the Ganga is there.
Oh, beautiful.
So I freaked out today, I have to say. Just now, because international flights got cancelled. Like, tomorrow is the last day, and today, just now actually, it occurred to me that I might not be able to come back, like, for a few months in case, like, it doesn't change. And if I want to be stuck here in India, or if I just want to be, like, in my country where they take, like, care, like, like, I'm a citizen of that. So I just tried 4 times to book super expensive flights, like for 2,000 euros. How much rupees is that? Too much. Like, too much. And it fails. And then I called Eduardas, and he said, hey, it's Satsang now. I'm like, oh, it's Satsang now, okay. So you just got me in the situation. So please, Father, say something.
So, practically speaking, the flights are only closed till 28th. I don't feel like...
Yeah, but most countries have closed it for at least 2 weeks, and I don't think India is going to open after 1 week. It wouldn't make sense, I think it's going to continue.
It's fine. I feel like really not... I'm really saying that don't have to worry about anything at all. I feel like Guruji's grace is beautifully taking care of all of us. Don't have to worry at all about anything. Enjoy your time in Rishikesh, and Ganga Ma is there with you. So, what do you have to worry about?
So it's fine that I couldn't get a flight. I don't have to go on trying. Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. So my father and my mother, they both say it's fine because I just called with her. So it's fine.
Yeah, she seems very... I've never met her, but he seems quite spiritually evolved.
I'm really amazed, like, how she's dealing with the situation, Like, I have to say, no, daughter, don't come. If I would die anyway, you can't even bring me, like, to the graveyard. I'm like, what? Okay. I mean, she even meant it, She didn't want to say that, but, like, okay. Right? I stay here then, I guess. So, thank you, Father. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Guruji.
Good.
How are you? Guruji, nice to see
Yes,
you.
yes, actually. Same.
Guru, I'm not able to hear you properly.
I'm going to just mute everyone again, and then you unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, now try.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. Guru Kripa Kevalam.
Guru Kripa.
Love you, Guruji.
Good to... How are things in Puttaparthi? Good?
Good. How is Garima, Kabir?
All good, all good.
And Sita? Good.
Good too.
You know what's happening, Guruji?
Well, we spoke about that in Satsang a bit.
What's that?
We spoke about that in Satsanga before. Mute the phone in a hand, not your.
I'm muted. Yeah. Okay, Guruji. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love to both of
Gratitude.
you.
Love you, Guruji. Guru Kripa Kevalam.
Guru Kripa Kevalam. So much love to your son and your new daughter-in-law, and all love to all of you.
Thank you
This,
so much.
this is Revati Guruji.
Yes, I know.
Thank you so much.
And Chitra is here.
Yes, yes.
Chitra is here.
Thank you, Guruji, for your lovely message.
Very welcome.
Thank you so much. By your grace, everything went on well. Yes, I have messaged you.
Acha, I'll
Now
read
the
it.
pull of that mother consciousness has reduced. Now only Guru Kripa
Great.
required
Is there?
to abide in my own self and spread joy, peace, and love everywhere. Thank you so much.
Then, where did Amma go?
Namaste, Father.
Hello, my dear.
Hello.
Nice.
Nice to see you. I haven't got anything to say.
Never heard that before.
Huh?
Heard that before.
I can't hear you properly.
I've heard that before, I said.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. This time it's true.
Uh-huh.
I think. I'm not sure. Hmm.
Where's the issue?
Oh, maybe in the garden or something. Playing
Wow.
with Diza.
Give my love to both of them as well. And it's such a joy. I can't tell you. I had your picture right in front of me as I was sharing, and it reminded me so much of the old times.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Seeing you in this room as well, it reminds me of when you started sharing something.
Yeah.
I think maybe you started here.
One of the songs we had here.
Mhm.
All my blessing, always with you. I feel to say keep up the good work in some way, but some better words will come for that. You're doing You want to share something? Put you on the
No,
spot.
I haven't really got anything to share. Like the only thing that comes sometimes is like because everybody is thinking about coronavirus and everybody is like self-isolating and everything, and it can seem like such a big deal, you know, when you're watching the news, and I know on some level it is like a big deal, but I also feel that actually when we're just in our direct experience, I feel probably most people, like 99% of people, are having a super beautiful time. Like if we're just in direct experience, and maybe even more beautiful time than usual because everything is closed down and quieter, and we're just at home, and it's like we're all on retreat or something. So like that, like you say, if you're not like in your thoughts, then it's beautiful. Like, and that's goes with if you're in, if coronavirus is happening or not. So, like, I can only like I can't say anything now. I can only echo what you say.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you too.
Father, this is Murat from Boston.
Hello, Murat. Where are you? I don't see you yet. You'll come up in a minute.
And we just saw you in Rishikesh only once, but it was so beautiful because I missed Bangalore this year. Thank you for showering so much grace on Aliyah, my daughter. She had such an amazing time. And she was so touched by you, and you created such great moments for her. So thank you for that. In Boston, we're all sick-loaded, and I'm calling it the sadhana virus instead of the coronavirus. But even more important than that, I think the fact that you have to confront the fact that any of us could get it and we may not make it. You have to confront death right up front. And I think that's great. And it's nice to be able to sit in the presence of the great transition because it could happen. But there's so much peace, there's quiet, and I think it's a very important point for all of us. And I think I want to take this presence every day into whatever lives we have left, the transition, and be conscious of that because we tend to push that away, not knowing that every day is grace given to us. So thank you for your pointings and your love, and lots of love from Boston. To all my friends, thank you.
Thank you.
Lots
Thank
of
you.
love.
Such a joy to meet you and Aliyah as well. This time it was so nice to have both of you there. Very beautiful. Give my love to all your family, everyone there.
Namaste, Father. Can you hear me?
Namaste, my dear. Good to see you after so long. What is this, like a reunion satsang?
So much love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my love. Love you so much.
Thank you.
Full prayers with you, full blessings.
Thank you.
Namaste, Ananta-ji. I don't know if you see me yet. It's Saskia from England. Thank you so much for the opportunity to sit with you in Rishikesh. It was mind-blowing. And thank you for arranging this Zoom meeting at a time when so many of us from around the world can attend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love you. It was very nice having you with us. And I noticed you said something, you were trying to come, but in all this corona thing, you were not able to come. That's okay. That's okay. You're here now, and that is what's important. I'm happy to see because I always felt and I was told that Zoom can take only 50 people, and we have some 70 something. So it's nice to have. Love you, love. Okay, I have 7%. This is reminding me of the old days. My battery is running out. I can bring the charger. But, hey, Jyotima, I have to tell her something. Where is she?
I'm here.
Jyotima,
Yes.
you're in trouble now.
I can hear.
Huh? You muted again?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So you're in big trouble
Why?
because we all have something to say to you now. And, I'm going to unmute everyone.
Happy birthday, Jyotima.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
Happy birthday.
birthday, dear Jyotina.
Happy
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy birthday.
May Guruji bless you.
Father
Guruji bless you. Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday
to you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Love you, Jyoti.
Evening, Father.
So,
Hi, Father. This is Harsha here. Hi, Father. Can you hear me?
hello. Yeah, I'm just charging my computer. Going to meet everyone again.
Hi, Father. Can you hear me, Father?
Yes, my dear, I can hear you well.
Hi, Father. Nothing to say, just pranam at your holy feet and Guru Kripa Kevalam. Thanks for everything. Nothing to say, but just pranam, Father. Thank you so much.
Come, who's left?
Father, I just want to say I'm just so grateful with all, everybody's been sending me so much love, and I'm just, and for you, Father, I don't think I can say anything more, just that I love you so much, and everyone in this sangha, and like, thank you again. Thank you.
We're in the same building.
I know, but it's just, it's,
Beautiful.
yeah, and it's like, Father, it's like all the point things. I mean, just not coming up or down or here or there. They just suddenly like exploding in my thing. It's just like you say, okay, don't believe this, and it's like, yeah, that's what he said. I don't know what you're doing, but thank you for whatever you're doing. It seems to be working really well, and I love you.
Father, it's Atma. Hey,
Good, my love.
all good. All good on a 100 feet road. Not moving much, just going to restaurants because we need to eat something, but yeah, all good. Thank you so much. I love you so much too. Me too.
You too. Hopefully this thing will end soon and we'll meet.
Yes. Thank you.
I haven't left the house, in a week or something.
Huh?
I haven't left the house in a week.
Who left the house?
I haven't left the house.
Ah, you haven't left the house in a week?
But that's not unusual for me. Usually it's just work and back.
Yes,
And
I know.
that is happening on Zoom. So all the work is happening on Zoom. So I'm
Okay.
pretty good.
And Garima, she's also at home.
All of us.
Wow, that's great. Okay, enjoy. Thank you.
Looks like a very nice hotel room.
Yeah, it's very nice. At least.
They give you the room for free now.
We wish, but yeah, not yet.
Hello, Father. Chinmay here.
All of us neighbors are meeting like this.
Yeah. Thank you very much for arranging this meeting, Father. And even though there has been a long pause, from satsangs, and I also couldn't make it to Rishikesh this time, but still, I always feel your presence. It's always there, and your grace is ever present, Father. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you so much.
And let us know if you need something. We're in the same building.
Absolutely. Yeah, Father. Thank you so much. And you also let us know in case you need anything. Please.
Okay.
Namaste, beloved.
Namaste, my dear.
First, I would like to thank you because you said a prayer for Hans, and I also wishing all the best and to be happy as soon as possible for Hans, and let us pray, all of us, and also for the whole world. And as Guruji invited us for this prayer. Thank you, beloved. I am presently in Ramanashramam in Tiru, and I'm really very blessed because maybe I am not so well informed, but I see very few changes here. Some kind of changes, but Bhagavan arranged in such a way that the whole process is going on even now. So it's like we are maybe. So we are having our time here like nothing happened, really. And this is really, we are out of everything. So it's like full grace. And thank you for the possibility to join this Zoom and for organizing this, because I feel that everybody needs kind of to hear what sometimes we feel, but to hear from your mouth, it's like reassuring that what is happening is, it's also full grace. And but yeah, it has some kind of, how to say, also not so nice parts, because some of people are dying, and even our Sangha member Hans has got the virus, but hopefully God's will be done, and also we pray for Hans and for the others whose destiny is to continue in this realm or in another realm, to follow as it has to be. So thank you, beloved, for this opportunity and for the whole Sangha that we gathered like this. And this is really, it shows that it's a really, it's something different, because so many beings in this in your satsang never been. It's like everybody is like hungry for something, for the truth and for the love and for God and for ourselves. And you are imparting this. And thank you. Love you so much, and bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Father. It's Claire here
Hello.
from Northampton. Hi. It's really nice to see you. It's really, really nice to see you.
I recognize the background also. I recognize the background, so just like old time.
Yeah. It's true. So grateful. So grateful.
I'm always with you, always with you. I love you very, very.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you feel to say something, you can always come back.
Father,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. So nice to see you finally. After many, many years, no?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, my love.
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen over the years just on Heart Altar, and we've never met like this, have we?
Yes, years ago we were in Zoom together,
Yes.
and before that, I think it was Google Hangouts.
Yes.
Someday, maybe I'd come to Bangalore.
I'm so happy. So happy.
So good to see you.
So good
So
to see you again.
wonderful. Thank you so much. So much love to all the Sangha and so much love. Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm just going to take a break for a month and then have this satsang so everybody comes and then take a break for a month. And this way I get to see everyone. Huh? Huh? बोलो इसके लिए. Welcome. My son is getting super bored at home. Not used to staying at home so long.
Hi, Father.
Hello.
I don't really have anything to say except thank you and I love you.
Are you in the building now?
Yes. I've been feeling you since I came. I've been feeling you with me. Yeah. Thank you.
Are you here for a bit? You have to. No? You have to
I
go.
will take you. God only knows. Yeah, I don't know. Just letting it unfold and yeah. Thank you.
Hello, Father. You hear
Hello.
me? Hello.
I hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you and so many people from the Sangha. It makes me so happy. I really so much enjoy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And good luck to you. Your daughter is with you, or she?
Sorry?
Your daughter also with you? Are you together, or are you
The
separate?
daughter, she's with her mama, but we are all good. Everything is nice. Everything is good. Yes. Thank you.
So much love.
Hello.
Hello.
Come on now, there you are. So, are you in Peru or where are you?
In Lucknow now.
Yeah, in Lucknow. We arrived today.
Nice, nice.
Papa G place.
Yeah.
Are you guys going around as if nothing is happening?
No.
No.
It's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily. How did you get to Lucknow?
No, just now quarantine.
Yeah, we will stay here now for some time in a quarantine, I guess you can say. Yeah.
Well, you're in luck now, so. I said you're in luck now.
We are, yeah.
Yes, Lucknow.
Yeah.
The internet is very bad, so we are like hearing half.
Yeah.
Love you.
Yes, love you.
Love you both so much.
Love Sangha to everyone. Yeah.
Okay, looks like we are done, are we? Who's feeling shy?
Hello, Father.
Hello.
Hello. I'm the shy one, apparently.
You are?
I don't know where is the video. Shouldn't be.
Come. I see you. Good, my love.
Yeah, it's good. Good. I'm very happy actually to see so many Lithuanians.
Yes.
It's so nice, so nice. Soon we're gonna have a Sangha here in Lithuania for Ananta. Very nice. Yes. Miss your father. Oh my god.
So good. See you after so long. I met many Lithuanians actually this time. They're very. I was astonished in our meetings. So I irritated everybody in Bangalore by going on about how beautiful the Lithuanians are. So I feel like the Bangalore children were not talking to me because they were just like, you go stay with your Lithuanian.
I'm so grateful again. Oh my god. I'm so grateful. For today as well, for everything. Oh my god. I love you so much, of course.
All my love to you and your mom and everyone there.
Father, it's me again.
Hello. Yes.
I just got in my mind that Lucia from Australia, Lucia Lagana, she is
Yes.
in a hospital. She's in a hospital and has nearly no internet, and it's not very easy for her. Just your blessings.
Where in a hospital where?
Lucia, where? In Gold Coast. She lives in
Okay.
Gold and she came from Rishikesh and straight into the hospital, and she doesn't know what, but it's not easy. So I
Oh,
just feel to give her to you. Yeah, thank you.
Hello?
you too. One of the devices. So
Oh, how about now? Oh, now I think. Hello.
oh, happy to see you guys.
Same. Yeah. We are so grateful to be with you all together. It's so amazing.
I keep losing you. I don't see you anymore. Where are you? Let me. Okay, this is good now. Wonderful, wonderful to see you like this. Are you still in Thiru? No, now I can't hear you now. You have to. One. Now see, let's hear. Say something. Let's hear something.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can
Are
hear
you
us
still?
very good. You can hear us? Can you?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
We're so grateful to be with you. And we are
It's not so clear. Not so clear what you're saying. But I'm waiting for this one's drawing. We need drawing when she's back. No, you can't hear us. I said I'm waiting for her drawing.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. Yeah. It's coming. Uh, when we're going to have a Satsang? We're waiting for that. We're waiting for a Satsang.
Can't make out what you're saying, my dear. You could type also. If you can type over there.
Okay. Только поращите.
Love you guys. Where are Gabriella and Jonna?
Hello, Father.
Hello.
We are in Bangalore now at the moment, and we are planning to go to Tirun tonight, I guess.
Ah.
We just came back to pick our friends.
Oh.
Love you so much.
It's all grace. All grace. Of course, something in the heart feels like we had such a beautiful opportunity to come together, but grace had other plans. That's fine. Miss you guys. Love you. Love you so much. Anyone else wants to come? I'm going to read all the messages now.
Hello, Father Hanumant here.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, just nothing to say. I mean, just say thank you.
I hope everything is well with you and the family and
Yes,
all
Father,
is
everything
good.
is.
Satya here.
Hello.
Hi.
So nice. So nice.
Good to see you. Like, nothing to say, but thank you so much for the opportunity to be in Satsang and to be with the Sangha. It's so beautiful, and even interestingly, this time is so beautiful as well. There's so much inside time. The whole world is going calmer in a lot of ways. So hopefully, things will be better, and even if phenomenal work. Thank you so much. Love to you and to all the Sangha.
Come soon. It's always very beautiful when you're here in Bangalore. I know that usually you have to do some work and then come back and these kind of things, but it's such a sweet time when you're here. I always enjoy it very much.
Thank you. It was so beautiful to be there. It's so lovely to be in your presence. And keep quiet my mind. No question. I'm really blessed.
Hello, Father.
Yeah.
Hello. Just a quick thank you and I love you, and sending out my prayers to everybody, to wish that this time is put to the best use possible, and that it serves everybody in the way that it is needed, and this one included. But just especially want to say I love you, Father. Thank you for doing this today. It was really needed here very much and very appreciated. I'm so grateful. And thank you, Sangha, for being there in your spirit and in your constant devotion and dedication to the truth. I love you all. Thank you.
So good. Love you so, so much. And there's never any distance between us at all. Love you always. Thank you. And full love to your daughter and the rest of your family as well.
Thank you. We are 3 here now, my daughter, my mother, and I. It's quite a dynamic.
Well,
And it's a really great opportunity. Thank you.
have many prayer requests in the chat that have come to me privately, and I'm going through them one by one and sending all the prayers in my heart. And many who are affected by this disease, and there are many who are affected by a lot of fear around this disease as well. And may Guruji's grace bless all of them and bring them all to full healing, if that is His will. So much love, so much joy, so much grace to all of you. Many beautiful children are here in Bangalore, and I have some requests to meet them, but I've been advised very strongly that I'm not supposed to. Also, my son came back from America on the 15th, and we've been advised that he and his family, all of us, are supposed to not meet for a few days after his arrival. But I'm meeting all of you in my heart very, very deeply and with full love. And that is the place of the true meeting anyway. Of course, it is very joyful and there's a lot of sweetness in the Leela of meeting in person in that way, but it doesn't look like that is what Grace has in the plan. So, but please accept my apology for not being able to spend time with you in that way, and but know that I'm completely with you in my heart. Thank you all so much for being in this beautiful satsang today. All my love, all my prayers, all my blessings, especially to Hans and all those who are afflicted by this virus. May the Master's grace bring all to peace very soon. Satguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Guru Kripa ki Guru. Love you, Chaitanya, Olga, Marie, Shiv. Let's see who all are there. Jerome, Sri, Jyoti, Z, Meera. Good. Why are you guys all hiding? Dennis, Beck, Radha, Jonna, Aditya, Sarah, Gopala, Atmajyoti, Gabriela, Nico, Olga, Jyotika, Arjun, Vidas, Miguel, Shivoham, Esther, Gatis. I'm sorry if I'm messing up the names. Atma, Sriram, Joanna, and Bridget, Sarunas, Chitra, Baby, Sylvie, Dalias, Shruti, Geeta, Jaya, Hanumant, Nitin, Sharanya, Adrian, Alala is not his name, Stephanie, Claire, Shankari, Jyotirman, Satya, Chinmay, Shanti, and Ananta.